Let's welcome in our powerhouse panel. Joining us right now, radio host and Project 21 National Advisory Board member Christopher Arps back with us, and former Deputy Press Secretary at the White House. Also a Newsmax contributor, Hogan Gidley, is back with us this morning. Panel, great to have you on this morning. Good to see you.
Thank you.
I want to start in Maryland, where this deranged would-be 26-year-old assassin was arrested by U.S. Marshals outside Justice Brett Kavanaugh's house. He was armed to the teeth. We'll get into that in a minute. But the White House still not condemning this behavior. Joe Biden had an opportunity with Jimmy Kimmel yesterday. He didn't take it. Here's Jen Psaki talking about these protests 1 month ago. Listen.
I know that there's an outrage right now, I guess, about protests that have been peaceful to date, and we certainly continue to encourage that outside of judges' homes, and that's the president's position.
Hogan, former Deputy White House Press Secretary, you've been at that podium there. First of all, thank God those U.S. Marshals were there. What if they took out Justice Kavanaugh or his two daughters or his wife? They were all home sleeping when this guy got out of a taxi cab. But let's forget about the White House for a minute. Where is the Department of Justice on this?
Look, bias occurs in the mainstream media in two ways: what you cover and how you cover it. They are largely ignoring the largest story we've seen in this country in quite some time, an assassination attempt on a Supreme Court justice. Not to mention the fact several judges have been shot in other parts of the country, in Wisconsin and New Jersey, where a judge had her son and husband shot as well. People are targeting these folks. It's becoming very difficult to serve in that role and survive in that role. That is a massive news story. Thankfully, those people were there to stop this would-be assassin. But the words used matter for a president of the United States. They matter for a White House press secretary, because they are supposed to give you the president's position. Not a peep from the administration, not a peep from the president or the vice president on an attempted assassination of a Supreme Court justice. I'm so dumbfounded, flabbergasted. There aren't words to describe how just angry I am that they haven't come out and condemned this in any shape or form.
Chris?
You know, ironically, the Department of Homeland Security last week issued a bulletin warning that there could be possible unrest because of this potential overturning of the Roe v. Wade decision, and because of the potential that elections may not come out the way people want. So this deranged person that came to Kavanaugh's house, I think part of that you have to blame on Schumer and the rest of the Democrats when they made that hyperbolic statement on the Supreme Court steps, and it seems that them promoting having people picketing in front of their houses. I think they are directly responsible for this deranged man's actions, and we hope that this doesn't happen in the future. More incidences like this.
Yeah, and what if it got all the way, Hogan? What if they took him out?
Yeah,
what if they shot and killed? It's like finding Lee Harvey Oswald walking up the steps to the book depository, before he killed Kennedy.
Right,
that's what we're looking at here in Maryland.
Right, I want to slightly disagree with Chris, but then with some nuance, and that is, look, we don't attribute the shooter at the softball game to as a Bernie Sanders supporter to Bernie Sanders' rhetoric. The difference here is, so I have a little difficulty with that. However, Schumer's words, release the whirlwind, Kavanaugh and Gorsuch, you release the whirlwind and you will pay the price. You won't know what hits you. The difference with those comments and others is that you can vote politicians out of office. So theoretically, Schumer could say, yeah, what I was talking about was an election, the whirlwind you're going to face politically, the backlash politically. These are lifetime appointments. So the question has to be asked of Chuck Schumer and has to be asked of his colleagues, will you condemn this rhetoric and language? The only way that person leaves office is either voluntary resigning or by death. So Chris is right in that regard.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Hogan. Schumer needs, and all the lawmakers, they need to be careful about what they say and how they say it, because people like this gentleman and other people, are listening to these lawmakers. We've heard many lawmakers say things, and also to the fact of it being a story. So as of last night, I looked at the New York Times. It was number 20 as far as lead stories, meaning you got to scroll down. This just happened. It has barely 24 hours. And it's number 20 as far as their stories and coverage. Where is the coverage of this?
Joe Biden sitting down with Jimmy Kimmel last night. Jimmy Kimmel Live, that's the name of the program. But the interviews are all taped. So it was taped around 5 p.m. yesterday afternoon, Eastern time. Listen, Joe Biden could have commented on this. He could have condemned this. He could have come out. He has the bully pulpit, and he didn't take advantage of it yet again. That's why, look at
He
Quinnipiac
can even
this
say
morning.
the decision would be wrong. He could even say, I disagree with the pending decision or the leak.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
you cannot attack somebody physically. You cannot try to kill. He could have done any of those things and didn't do them.
He didn't take advantage of it. We'll see if they do anything today. He's out in California. I doubt if he'll even acknowledge this. But this is why his approval rating. Take a look at this Quinnipiac poll numbers out this morning. Joe Biden, his approval rating right now is at 33%, well below, almost 10 points Donald Trump was at this exact same time. Donald Trump was at 41%. Same poll. Quinnipiac, 33%. That's how bad it's gotten for Joe Biden. Gas prices, they will be at $5 a gallon. If they're not there tomorrow, they'll be there by Saturday, $4.97 a gallon. And by the way, if you find $4.97 a gallon, you're getting a good deal on gas right now in Joe Biden's America. So this guy, this suspect, this would-be assassin outside the Kavanaugh home had a Glock 16, 2 magazines, a knife, zip ties, duct tape, a crowbar, a hammer, and a screwdriver all in his backpack. He was there to take Brett Kavanaugh out. Thank goodness those U.S. Marshals were there, because when he got out of that taxi cab, had he not seen them standing outside of his house, he might have done something. He might have done something. And Kavanaugh's got 2 young daughters. Here's my question, all right? So the Senate passed, and I should say they passed this unanimously. You want to talk about bipartisanship in Washington. The Senate passed a bill unanimously to protect Supreme Court justices. Nancy Pelosi hasn't moved on it, hasn't done a thing. Chris, why?
Well, I think they're beholden to their left-wing base. I mean, we see the radicalness of these people. We see them, these women, these pro-life, pro-choice activists that are stripping down at WNBA games. We're seeing them attend the megachurch of Joel Osteen and stripping down to their underwear. It shows the ferocity, the ferociousness of how they believe in this issue, and they are afraid of losing that support because they know how bad it's going to be for them in November. So they're at least trying to keep their far left-wing base.
Such a good point. Also, code 18 U.S. 1507. I've had it circled for over a month now. It says that it's illegal. It's a federal crime to stand outside a justice's private home and protest. You can protest in the Capitol. You can protest anywhere you want. You can't do it outside a judge's home. It's against federal law. I don't know why Joe Biden doesn't say, or Merrick Garland say, hey, listen, you do it. Ruth sent you this group that hasn't been condemned by Twitter. They've got some really ugly stuff up there on Twitter. We're going to come out and arrest all of you tonight if you do it again. But it continues unabated. And we don't even know where Justice Kavanaugh falls on the Roe v. Wade decision. We don't have a decision yet. He might be against it. We don't know that he's for it.
We don't even know who the leaker is
No,
yet.
we have no idea. 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
More than that, we don't know who the leaker is. Panel, we'll pick this back up top of the hour. A lot to get into. The January 6th will start their first hearings tonight in prime time. We'll get into that top of the hour. Looking forward to it. Chris Arps, Hogan Gidley, thank you.